Did you start initially with JJ's?
I didn't. I how I got into it was I was in a Kempo school. I think it was like around 92 or something like that. And it was just basically for exercise. I wanted, I love the fact that, you go into a Taekwondo school or a Kempo school and just get, just a good workout. So I wanted to start something different. And my professor at the time, his name is Timothy Santos, and he had a style called Kempo Jiujitsu Ryu. And it was a style that incorporated like a bunch of different martial arts. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was one of them. And I'd obviously heard about it. It was pretty new. And we'd always mess around. We'd spar. And I remember the time that he took me to the ground, and I'd never felt so helpless in my life, ever. It was horrible.
What's his size? What's his size, by the way? Like
Tim, he's probably about maybe 5'7", and he looks basically like one of those Buddha statues. He's got a beer belly. You never look at him and see like a dangerous person.
Okay.
He's just really calm demeanor, but he had like a gut.
Just wanted to paint the picture to the listeners and the viewers. So
yeah, but he, just a really nice dude. But when he got me on the ground, I'd never felt panic like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a horrible feeling. And once I felt that, I was kind of hooked. I was like, I have to find out how to deal with this, this horrible feeling, because as soon as he had side control on me, and I couldn't. The first couple of seconds, like you're thinking, I have a chance, I can move, I can get out, I can, but you don't know what to do. You don't know how to hip escape. You don't know how to use your hands, where to put them. And he wasn't moving. He was just making me feel the panic, and it was horrible. And so at that time, I was like, I got to figure this out, or try to. So that's what basically got me into jiu-jitsu. And then I met Chance from there. He went to that school.
And what city is this at?
This is over in Los Feliz.
Yeah. But you've been living in Porter Ranch for a while, so...
Well, my mom still lives there. My mom lives in Los Feliz, so every time I was over there, I'd make a stop, And then once I joined up, it was just like kind of like an every 3 times a week thing, yeah. And
then how did you matriculate from Kempo Jitsu to JJ's?
Well, the drive, the commute was getting pretty tough, coming from Porter Ranch to Los Feliz all the time. So, and my wife and I were out actually looking for a jiu-jitsu school, and we were pretty new to the valley, didn't know what were going on, didn't know where anything was. We stopped into this one jiu-jitsu school, and I was talking to the guy, and he was a blue belt that was teaching the class, and he goes, well, if you want to learn some high-level jiu-jitsu from a legend, there's the Machado brothers down the street a little bit. And so I just, looked it up, and that's the first time I went to John Jack's. That's how I found the place.
Dunzo, the moment you started.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Was it the actual gym, or was it out of the garage, or?
No, it wasn't the place we're at now. It was just
on another suite.
Right, another suite. Perfect. Yeah.
Let's start with your martial arts interest first.
Oh wow.
Or how you got into it first.
Well, obviously, a lot of UFC guys. Early UFC stages. The first UFC fights, they were always fun, and story of many people. But they saw that the Gracie, the small guy wearing a gi, beating up bigger opponents. It's always lingered in my head. Personally, I was a Don Fry fan before that, but in Korea, I've always in the back of my mind wanted to pursue jiu-jitsu, just because I knew it's just something that looked really interesting to me.
Okay.
I always had a fascination with many different sports, and I was always pretty athletic, but never stuck with me as like jiu-jitsu. But the story of how I picked up jiu-jitsu was I was in Korea. There's an MMA school down the street from my house, and then one day I just walked in, and this big bald guy, really huge jacked guy with a bicep missing. He does Doritos commercials now, but
in Korea.
In Korea.
Okay.
I walked in, and then I was like, I want to check out your class, and the first thing he said to me was, "You're not scared of me?" I was like, "Nah, dude, you look like any fool from LA." And then he ended up like taking me in under his wing, and he had like some background in jiu-jitsu. I don't know what extent it was, but
sure.
And it's just an MMA class. I got oriented with it, but I fell in love with the jiu-jitsu aspect because it's less punching in the face, and Just it was really fun because it's where you can. It's when the fight gets to the ground, you, especially like with me not being so versed in my stand up, jiu-jitsu was my way to answer to all those kids who are beating me up. So, and and then what really elevated my jiu-jitsu love for jiu-jitsu was finding someone called Eddie Bravo,
which we all know at this point
online, and then I ended up buying one of his books called Jiu-Jitsu Unleashed, and man, that kind of changed my whole jiu-jitsu just world. Just I was tapping everybody out, everyone in my class, and with all the lockdown technique was no one did lockdown, and so I did lockdown. And
was this in the early 2000s?
This is more than 10 years ago. But
okay,
yeah. So so I then when I went to back home, I made it a point to visit Eddie Bravo's school, and that was I don't get starstruck when I see in Korea, I hung out with some celebs and stuff like that.
Sure.
But here, when I saw Eddie Bravo, I was like, wow, dude, I was pinching myself. I saw Joe Rogan over there, but Eddie Bravo was like, wow, this is the guy that changed my jiu-jitsu life. And so, fast forward, I don't know how many years, 6-7 years later, Pops, I got a call for Pops. He said, come home, not doing too well. So, came in, wanted to, pursue my jiu-jitsu. He just didn't want to lose it. So I found the next best thing, which is, I found Jean-Jacques Machado. And the rest is history from there. This is one of my favorite combos. I hug the same leg. Okay. They're not going to finish my leg because if you can move your knee, it's not going to be done. And in some cases, you can finish. Some people will tap, right? But just know it's not enough to break your foot. Okay. So it's how tough you are. But I don't want you to come home when they go, oh, see, I'm saying you can fight it. You can still fight it. If it's here, you should start to worry. When everything's pinned, then you start worrying. You go, oh crap. Then you get ready to tap because you're gonna. But I still would fight it. I would still try to weave it out. But anyways, the point is, anytime someone grabs that, you grab their leg. Okay. And of course they're in a better position. If this leg is out somehow, this other leg is in play. This foot is stuck, right? Yeah. But you have an extra leg.
Just turned off.
Does that make sense?
I don't know why it does that.
Whatever you want to do. This is excellent.
It did that.
Oh, maybe it was a sleep mode.
Which is not good. I can use this to get off, but just really tough on bigger opponents. So what I do is I'll give you 2 or 3 options from here. From here, fall to the strong side, which is, can you move your knee? No. I can still move my knee. So I'm in no danger. Here. Okay. Then I'll finish this way. That's one of them. Another one, against a longer legged person, the knee line is around here. So there's always a pocket here for me. From here. This is I like this one. And this is actually way worse Achilles. You already feel it, right? Yeah. And I was going really soft. And there's a lot of little modifications you can make here to make it way worse. Yeah. Right? Jesus Christ. So anytime I like when I play legs, anyone that goes for an Achilles, it's usually, they do have to work for me. Yeah. They're already getting their legs entangled for me. So I grab that leg, but make sure you don't go on, make sure you don't let them sandwich your legs to this side. If they do, you immediately, since you know your knees, and you know when your knee can't move, you know it's in danger. So you have to create a wedge. Now I can move my leg. Then I can readjust and finish. It's all about pinning the knees, right? So I'll grab your leg and you counter mine. Anytime someone does this, do you attack first or does that guy attack first?
That guy attacks first. I always try to fucking get out, but I never get.
Anytime he does this, you fall immediately to this side. This free leg comes over. Yep, and then you finish. Yep.
Sorry.
You can. What's even better if you're more flexible, throw that leg over my knee here.
Over it?
That's just it's not really necessary, but I just like to make it a habit. Because then, so here, boom, yep. Holy crap! This is gonna break. Yes, it's gonna break.